Hello, everyone. Hi, world. Hi, friends. Hi. It doesn't matter where you live, but I would say hi and welcome. I'm really excited for our special guest today. I mean, I'm a true believer that each of us, yes, we are born with a purpose. Yes, we have a lot of gifts. And sometimes it's so refreshing to see that a person who really follow her passion, who really like started with being an incredible, fur mom, built a platform to help a lot of pet professionals in US. So I'm very grateful and really very excited to welcome Nancy Hassel. She is the founder of American Pet Professionals. And she's here with us today to share a little more about the amazing professionals. And I can tell you, I joined my photography local organization, and I'm so fascinated to learn more because I'm a true believer. If you're running a pet business and you would like to level up and to grow it, going and becoming a part of a community which can really lift you and give you the tools you need to succeed, it's very powerful. So without further ado, thank you so much for being here with me today and our listeners and viewers.
Hi, Vassy. Thanks so much for having me. I'm so excited to be here with you.
Me too. Yay. Me too. It's I'm very grateful. We got connected. And then when I started looking at your website, and I was like fascinated. I mean, everything what you have created and all the professionals all around US you're helping, it's really amazing.
Well, thank you. Yeah, it's a labor of love and a lot of work and a lot of fun. The pet industry is that, right? We love working together. We love lifting each other up. And that's basically the mission statement of our business.
Fantastic, fantastic. And can you tell people a little more about how your journey started?
Yeah, I mean, so like many of us in the pet industry, when I was a little kid, I wanted to become a veterinarian. I wanted to work with animals, right? Because there were not that many pet industry professions that women were doing. We didn't see much of that. The only other pet industry profession that I knew of was being a dog groomer. That was a woman-owned business that was local to me. And I did the traditional route. I went to college, I got a degree in communications, and I took the television route. I worked in television for 10 plus years, which I absolutely loved. But I always had one foot interest in the pet industry. I like to say I was reading Pet Age magazine for as long as I can remember, getting that magazine. That was my first industry magazine. Then pet product news, all of those, and started reading and really like, I want to do something in the pet industry, but I didn't know what. And I, worked with dogs. I did my own dog training, but I never promoted myself as a dog trainer per se, just because it wasn't my thing. But I loved working with dogs. I loved learning about the industry. I loved reading all the business stuff. So one mind was TV, another was business, and the rest was like pets and everything else. And I started doing a lot of research. Like I wanted to open a pet business, but I did not know what. I did pet sitting and dog walking for a long time. I wanted to open a doggy daycare, and I did research in New York City and the few that were in the area that I am on Long Island, and then decided, nope, don't want to open a doggy daycare. And that's what I tell people all the time is do your research if you're trying to figure out what you want to do in the pet industry. And like you, photography is a big part of my life. I'm not a professional pet photographer or anything like that, but taking photos and all that. Then I worked in PR and along the way, and then I did pet industry PR. So for about 14 years, I did public relations, helping pet businesses get in the news alongside of growing our organization. So it's been a really fun journey. Sometimes I feel like it's like we just started, like yesterday. And then sometimes I look back and I can't believe all the things that we've done as an industry, as an organization. My business has helped me travel across the country for the pet industry, something that I never would have thought, back in the day when I was reading Pet Age, working full time at a TV job.
It's just fascinating. Yeah, it's just really fascinating on, how your journey started. And then, like, how did you start when did you start building the organization? I mean, I know that it happens like so naturally, or at least even with myself,
Yeah.
I'm like, oh my gosh, it's like you do this and you do this. And like you and I, we spoke before we pressed the button record or live stream. It's
Yeah.
like you have these ideas until in the morning and you start doing it. And one day you're realizing, oh my gosh, I did
Yeah.
this.
Yeah.
But it's not only what about we did, it's about who did we help to,
Yeah.
to achieve
And who
this.
helped us also.
Yes. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, that's for sure.
Yeah. So I will tell you how I started. It was really kind of interesting. And this is for anybody watching that's multitasking, pay attention to this because I've heard this before I started my business. But, I was working in PR, public relations, like I said, and I had a friend that was running an organization for entrepreneurs. It was called Long Island Entrepreneur Meetup or something like that. And I reached out to her and said, hey, I'm looking to start speaking more at, events and stuff like that. Can I come and speak to your group about, how to get your business, your regular business into the news? And she was like, oh my God, yes, that would be a great topic, blah, blah, blah. So I drove there. It was about an hour and a half from where I lived. And I drove there and I sat next to the only other pet professional at the time who was there. And it happened to be a veterinarian. And so after I did my spiel about getting your business in the news, I said, oh, and by the way, I'm also in the pet industry. I teach a responsible dog ownership class, something like that, something about pet professionals. And as the networking was happening and I'm sitting next to her, I think we were eating dinner, she said to me, are there any pet professional organizations on Long Island? I just moved back from wherever she went to college and I'm a veterinarian. And I said, like, just for pet professionals? And she said, yeah. And I said, well, there's a veterinary association that would probably suit you a little bit better. But I sat there and I said, she's the third person that asked me that in the last 2 weeks, just in my travels and doing things in the pet industry. So I sat there and I looked around. I'm like, I could host one of these networking events. Doesn't look that difficult, right? I know how to get the press involved and send out a press release about it. So that was early December of 2008. And so in February of 2009, I put together a Facebook group before what Facebook groups are the way they are now. And it was called Long Island Pet Professionals. And I think I grabbed the URL on GoDaddy, like I did those things. And I put together, and it was also right in the middle of the recession.
Oh.
So people were struggling, right? 2008, 2009, like maybe the tail end of the recession, but it was back when they were like, how to cook a family of 4 dinner for $10. Like that's what you saw in the news, right? So it was difficult times as far as financially for people. So I went to a local restaurant and I bartered with the guy and I said, listen, I'll bring like 50 to 60 people here, not knowing at the time if anybody would come. And if you give me a couple of trays of free food, well, your bar tab will be beyond covered. And so I did the same exact speech, but was how to get your pet business in the news, which was not as easy in 2009 to get your pet business in mainstream news. And I put a press release out and said, we're having a networking event. We had 55 people show up. I was mildly freaking out because I did not expect the response. And we got news coverage, and I had people from all over Long Island, all 5 boroughs of New York City and 3 different states came. So it was crazy. And some of the people that were at our networking event, that very first one, are still members of American Pet Professionals to this day. So listen to if that keeps coming up, pay attention to that, because if that veterinarian hadn't said that to me for the 3rd time, I don't know if I would have started the pet professional organization. I wanted to start something because I dabbled in so many things in the pet industry. I just didn't really know what. And some of the other reasons that I started was I didn't like the competition among pet businesses, like local to me. I was like, guys, there's enough to go around. And like, we all should work together. Like, why are you not referring this person and referring this person, referring this person? And, so that was part of it. I also wanted to go to the trade shows, but I was not a pet product manufacturer. I was just beginning my media career as far as blogging and doing all the things, but I wasn't really a qualified person to go. And so that was kind of, hey, I want to get everybody together in the industry. And I understand why the trade shows only have certain qualifications of people to go. I've hosted my own trade shows. We do the same thing, and that totally makes sense. But that was another reason that I started it. And, like, why can't we all learn the same type of things? Overarching, we all, as businesses, we need to learn the same things. So that's kind of how it started. And like I said, it's been a really fun ride in the last 13 plus years of running this business.
I love it. And I really also want to tell people, listen what your community is telling you. Listen. And
Yep.
and I actually can relate because a lot of people, they don't know the way I came up with the idea of Pet Pics was I was a judge of a pet,
Oh,
like a pet fashion thing in one of the local doggy daycare I work in. The whole place, it's with my work.
yeah.
So the day before, it was Monday, the lady who was the owner, she said, Vasi, have you thought of teaching classes for farm photography? But few
Yeah.
weeks prior to that, I already taught a class on bird farm photography. And then I
Mhm.
remember one morning, probably was like on the next day, I was doing my lunch, my child lunch at 8:30 in the morning. I'm drinking my coffee. And I said, Vasi, that's it. So listen, friends, a lot
Yeah.
of times, like, we get so busy, life is
Yeah.
busy, it thinks there's so many distractions, but if you really open our mind, and especially like you are suggesting us, and you are giving this kind of, you can see, because you listen to this person, here we are. I mean, you
Yeah.
have so many members, so many professional people. And I really hope that I was so grateful when you said, Vasi, yes, I will come to your community, because
Yeah.
we need it. Friends,
Yeah.
if you are a designer, if you are a pet dog walker, and etc. And a lot of times, and I hope, you second me, a lot of times we just start with helping friends, then their friends call us.
Yep.
Next thing you know, you're running a business without having a business, without paying taxes, without having health insurance, paying
Yep.
payrolls. I mean, and then those things will come to you, but then you don't even know from where to start. And
Yep.
here we are, being so blessed and fortunate, to have you, Nancy, the
You're
star
so
of the
sweet.
show, our VIP star, to tell all of these pet owners, or maybe people who are pet parents, that they maybe are considering
Yes.
opening
Starting
a
their own
business.
career.
Yes.
Yeah.
So here
Yeah.
it is, friends. This is the best connection you can get. And Nancy's community. It's really fantastic. I mean, I can tell you, I know that you're going to be opening this month your membership, which I'm dying to learn
Yep.
more, because I myself want to join your membership. I have been actually looking for a long time for a similar community, which is like my photography community. I just couldn't
Yeah.
find it. And then one day, like, they connected to this, and I'm like, yes, and yes, happy dance. Woo! It's amazing. I just love it.
Yeah, listen, I appreciate that. I always say it's we, not me, at American Pet Professionals, because it is not all about me. I might have started the organization, but I value what everybody brings to the table. And we offer a lot of different online stuff during the month. Like, we have 4 different events each month for members. We have webinars every month. We cover topics that are trending. We always make sure that we're helping people. It's really, what that person is bringing to the table, and introducing people, like, all day long, right? All week long, I'm sending email intros to people. And when I worked in TV, it was not easy to get a job and an internship, right? You had to, like, I always said, you had to work, like, go through the back door sideways, like, just to get an internship interview. And it was really difficult. And I was like, why? Why should it be so difficult? Why don't we all work together? Because as we all work together, our community grows, it gets better and better. And I know the industry has done that as well, but it's always about me. And I think that, we check our egos at the door, right? Because we'll have an event and somebody will come. Like last month, we have a monthly event called Pet Biz Idea Think Tank, right? And it's just basically a mastermind where we really dive in and everybody supports and helps each other. And we had one member that she was going to close her business. She was very like a long, heartfelt decision. She has a lot going on, a new mom, all these things. And the other member that was in our room that night said, or that day, basically was, a solution to the other person's problem. And she's like, oh, maybe I don't have to close my business. And I was like, no, you don't, work together. And I get so excited. Like, you would think after all these years, I don't get excited, but I get so pumped up for that because I am so excited that she won't have to close her business. And here's somebody that's going to help fulfill the need and the stuff that she couldn't do to keep her business going. So we kind of have stuff like that. And, you said before, listen to your friends. When I was in 2008, I was, or before that, always complaining to a good friend of mine about, like knee-jerk reaction for new dog laws, because I always owned a Doberman. I have pit bull, my old pit bull behind me, and, just a lot of stuff like that. And so, you hear about breed specific legislation, which has gotten a lot better since then, or just general like dog responsibility. And she was sick of hearing me complain. And she said, like your friend, why don't you teach a class? And I was like, what do you mean teach a class? She's like, why don't you teach a class on responsible, dog, whatever. And she's like, you could do it through a town. And she worked at a town. And so I could have poo-pooed that and not listened to that. But I taught that class for 5 years. We were fully sponsored by 2 different companies. The class was free for pet parents, and we helped keep a lot of animal shelters out, a lot of dogs out of animal shelters because pet parents didn't understand behavior issues. We had veterinarians in the class and amazing dog trainers that volunteered their time. And we taught 2,500 people in 5 years in person. So, like I loved doing that class. I still think maybe one day I'll do it again, but it's just listen to your friends, listen to the suggestions. If your customers or clients are asking you questions, pay attention to those things, because a lot of times it'll come to you a couple of times. And then you're like, if you're not paying attention to it, somebody else is going to figure that out in a year or so. And then you'd be like, hey, I had that idea,
Oh my God. And it's very
Yeah.
true. It's very true. And a lot of times, like we don't even realize how much knowledge we have. But
Yeah.
there is one missing element. And I would say that it's courage. Courage is the
Yeah.
first one to pass your own fears. And I'm speaking from a personal experience because, as
Yeah.
we know, coming from a different country, English, it's my second language. Obviously, we know I may not be perfect in writing, but you know what? I tried. And here you try and you go to the professionals to really cut down on the struggle. There is
Yeah.
no reason, you agree with me. 21st century, there is
Yeah.
no reason why you have to go and like find yourself things what people already know as
Yeah.
an issue and know how to address and can give you the formula to, honestly, to success, and you just
Yep.
tweak it your own way.
Yeah. Why struggle alone is one of the things that I always say, be part of a community that wants to help you and work together. And the one thing that I say to my members, I'm like, tell me what is new with your business, what's going on, because you never know who I'm talking to that I'm like, oh my God, this is a really great connection. Like that happened to me recently. Somebody was asking me, do you know somebody that does this? And at first I was like, I know one person. And then as time went on, I'm like, wait a minute, I know like 6 people that I can introduce you to in that area. And again, it happened last night. I'm like, oh, you're another connection for, So the other thing I would say to people is show up, right? As busy as we are, it's hard to show up to things. And I know in the last couple of years, it's been tough. Like everybody's zoomed out or exhausted, or they take for granted stuff that's in front of them. But I think if you don't show up, then you're going to miss out. Like for a long time, I showed up to every single event that was happening. And I still show up to a lot of events, but whether it's in person or online, because I think it's important for your business, because you just never know, one, what you're going to learn, and 2, who you might be connected to. Right. And like, if we didn't get connected, we wouldn't be here. Right. And when you ask me, I'm like, yep, I'll be there. So
And
I
I
just
love it.
think that's so important. And I know it's hard as a business owner. If you are a solo business owner, it's even harder. But I'm telling you, it'll be worth it, because you'll look back and go, look at all those amazing connections that I made in the pet industry because I went to that one event or I showed up for that one Zoom meeting. I think it's really important.
It is very important. And I know that a lot of people probably would say, but listen, Nancy, listen, Vasi, I don't have time. And we need to understand that networking, virtually or physically, it's really crucial to grow your business.
Yep.
And then I know that you hear very often, like I hear, oh, Vasi or Nancy, I'm so beyond busy. I don't have time for this. But so this is the deal. And I know, I'm sure you're on the same page. If we tweak our organization and create system in place
Yep.
and just unload yourself a little bit and also do one thing at a time. I was a multitasker last year. I
Yeah.
was doing 5 things at a time. Now, one thing. And
Yeah.
even people ask me, Vasi, this, and I'm like, listen, when I'm 100% yours, I will open that message. Until then, I cannot, with all of my respect,
Right.
because it's all about, doing one thing at a time. And then you just, it's like a mountain, it's like you do, this one thing, one, and then the next thing you're on the top of the mountain, but
Right.
surrounded friends. See, that's the
Yeah.
deal. And that's
Yeah.
where you're amazing.
I also think that busy is an easy word for an excuse, right? Because I'm
Yes.
busy too, but you can always make the time. You can get up a little earlier. And if you're ready, or even if you're not ready, hire somebody. I would tell anybody that is in a solopreneur business, hire sooner than you would think, because I have a lot of systems that are automatic, running in the background of my business that keep my business going. I also have people that help me. So I couldn't do all the things that I do if I didn't have those people. And I wish I hired sooner. So I would say that also, and I know if you're a mom and married and have kids and all that, but we see those super moms out there. They got 4 kids, a business, a husband, and they are, it's not even that they're hustling. They just are figuring out their schedule. So I get the I'm busy, I can't do it, but I also think that there's a lot of distractions in our lives that make us say that I'm busy. So get up an hour earlier, do the things, you can do it.
Definitely, you can do it, friends. And I actually want to give an idea. I learned this long time ago. It's like if you cannot afford having an assistant, which I definitely would encourage, it's maybe offer to do like an exchange. For
Yep.
example, like as you know, Mary Ellen, who is a fantastic one of a kind designer, Mary Ellen Designs, she's Pet Picks admin. I don't pay Marielle anything. She just believes in me. And we
Yeah.
just made it beneficial for both sides, to work together. So I'm sure that maybe if you do outfits, you may just do one extra outfit for someone. If you're a designer, or maybe if you are like, you can say, okay, you can help me with my Instagram, but I will do this for you. There are
Yeah.
always ways if you're really very creative, and just think modern. Don't think, they used to call this and this. Everyone now still continues saying you have to work hard. No, we really need to
Smart.
work smart and
Yeah.
really be open-minded.
Yeah. I agree with that. And also I would say that, if you're struggling with your business with time, or just getting to that next step in your business and you're like, why can't I get there? Write down the things that you love to do, right, on one side, and the things that you hate to do, even if you used to love to do it, and figure out who you can hire, whether it's, somebody that's supporting you because they believe in you, or somebody that you can actually hire out as a freelancer for your work. And of course, get all your, proper things in place, your contracts, and protect your business, and make sure that there's, that they're, they have the NDA and all the things, right? You want to do all that, but put those things down and figure out where your genius zone is. Because I feel like a lot of people, like I'm like you, like I could do all this, I'm a multitasker, blah, blah, blah. But no, here's the things that I absolutely love to do, that I'm really good at, that, light you up inside, right? And then here's the things that I kind of like to do, but their time suck and I really don't want to do them anymore. And who can I find to do that for me? And go from there, because that's how you're going to grow your business, and that's how you're going to figure out your time problems. The other thing I would say is put all those things into policies and procedures, put them into a training, right? Do a little video on it. Like, this is how we do things here. Here's what I've done in the past. And, like you said, listen to people, because you might hire somebody that has way better ideas than what you were doing, right? And don't take that as an insult. Take it as like, oh my God, that's amazing. I want to apply that to my business and make it work for your business. Because I feel like a lot of people are resistant to things when they're growing. And you can't be that resistant if you want to grow as a pet business. That's how I feel about it.
I'm into this. It's friends, you just heard the formula. This is if there is, I mean, there are a lot of other
Yeah.
elements to the puzzle, but this is like this is one of the cores, the
Yep.
core of a business. And, you may not hear me talking too much about it in Pet Peaks, but I am a true believer. And this is the reason why I want to be like, I'm hoping I will be qualified to be a part of your membership when it's open
You're
on June 20.
qualified. Yeah. Well, everything you do is mind blowing to me. So,
We do it together. That's what
yeah.
I always like to tell people. Like, if you have idea, just say it. Just say it. You can DM us. It's okay. You don't need to
Yeah.
go publicly. You DM us, and then we will consider it. But
Yeah.
it's fascinating as a team how many people we can help. And
Yeah.
gain our time. I think that one of the issues modern business entrepreneurs are struggling with, it's that they become the workers in their business, and they work so much. And I felt the pain in November last year when I spoke to some of my friends designers, and they said, Vasi, we are going to take only one day off. And I used to be like them. I'm like, no, no,
Mhm.
no, we need to find a way. And now with your help, I'm confident that definitely this is doable. We need to find the help to free time, to gain the time with
Yeah.
your family, because it's like, I actually was very proud of myself. I closed down my studio. I said, you know what? I did my holiday portraits 2 days after Christmas. My studio was closed, and I'm planning to do
Yeah.
this year. That's it.
Yeah.
Don't
I,
care.
it's so important to make that time. And look at, we're in an era right now where you see major corporations going down to 4-day work weeks across the world, right?
Yes.
And you can do it if you have the right support and help and you have your systems and policies in place. Even I think of like pet retail store owners, and they're probably like, yeah, right, we can't do that. I'm like, yes, you can if you hire a really good manager. Well, it's really hard to hire people. Sure, but if you have everything set into place and you find that one person that's amazing, maybe you can find a second person that's amazing, right? And how is the culture at your business, and how are you guys giving back, and how are they? So I think, it is difficult. I was the same way, workaholic, did all the things. And you burn out. You'll get really
Yeah.
burned out if you don't take that time. And why are you working so hard in the first place, right? Yes, you want to have your business to be successful, but you also want to be able to have your own time and spend time with your family, with your pets, do all the things that you want to do. So I think it's really important to make sure that you're thinking about that and how you can do it. And as an entrepreneur, like for me, I can work at any time. Like last night I had to finish up a couple of things, so I finished them up. You know what I
I
mean?
love it.
Like I don't have to worry about it. And sometimes working a little at night or early in the morning where nobody's, emailing you or DMing you or whatever yet, it's a little bit easier. And then also set those boundaries, right? For people, you have to set the boundaries. Like, here's a time when we work. I don't work on the weekends. Whatever your boundaries are, your hours are. It's so, so important, because people will message you whenever they think that they need an answer from you, and you have to be, firm in those boundaries depending on what your business is, I think.
No, I do absolutely agree with you. And I can tell you, I'm sorry, I will take advantage to just mention about me. My phone in the evening go do not disturb. So
Yeah,
friends, with all of my love, respect, nowadays,
yeah,
let's face it. Friends from Australia, Canada, Europe, you name it,
yeah,
Africa. And so and then I don't want, like, I want to continue being a mom and having my family and everything else. So, and now Sundays from now on, I love you, friends. But Sunday, it's my day off, my feet up and drinking
yeah,
coffee with my jeans. So you
yeah,
need to find the time, and you have to understand that if you find the time and you feel honest about it, then people will respect you even more,
yep,
because
yeah.
it's like, imagine me, and I'm sorry I'm giving example with me, but imagine me
No,
coming home,
of course.
yeah, with the dark circles rough hair because my husband argued with me because I was again on my phone. Well, what good I'm doing to Pet Pigs community, or you're doing to your community, or you friends to your clients. But if we really say, do you know what? I am a human. I deserve my 2 minutes, and hi to everyone who is watching live, or, thank you friends for listening this as a podcast. Like, if you understand that it's not being selfish to think about you, so then when you do things, you can give 100, or 1,000% of yourself, and
Yeah.
just that's the magic. So please don't feel guilty, and just realize that boundaries, like you said, it's
Yeah.
crucial. It's crucial.
Yeah.
Otherwise, why are you alive if you don't even have 2 minutes break?
Right. Absolutely. And listen, I come from that school of working. I remember being in college, and one summer I worked full time, part time, was taking a night class. I had one day off every other week. And I did crazy work schedules like that for such a long time. And it's fine. I was young, I had the energy. Now, if I had to do that, it would be so difficult because, people say to me, oh, you work all the time. I'm like, I do, but I have a lot of stuff running in the background that's automated that I don't have to worry about. And in this modern age of technology, you can set that up for your own business. I know it's difficult if you're hands-on being a designer or whatever your pet industry career is, but there's so many things that you can apply to your business to make your life easier, that there's no reason to be working to the grindstone, as they used to say. I think it's important. Yeah, I work a lot, definitely, but I also very, very much value my downtime as well. I won't answer a text
Good.
if it's in the time that I'm like, I won't
Yes.
respond to you. I won't answer an email, all of that. It's, here's my business hours. I'm available to you guys so much. We have open office hours that, our members can set up a call with me at any time, like that, well, in our schedule, so they have the opportunity to do that. Like I'm always available, but at the same time,
After
especially
hours.
now with the summer months, I'm like, I want to go have fun. We only have a couple of months, and, so it's, I'm here for you guys during the week, but on the weekends, I might go to a pet event if there's one. I was just at one last weekend. It was a lot of fun, but at the same time, you have to really set up those boundaries for yourself.
I love it. I love it. I can't agree anymore. So friends, no, we love you. But if we really can,
Yeah.
if we really have the strength to continue doing what we do need a little
Right.
time away from devices, and just really to take it easy, because then
Yeah.
it's, I go for a walk when I have a chance. Like today, I'm planning, I will help an older lady walk her doggies and see the birds. And this is the time when I actually think and come up with probably some of the craziest
Yeah.
ideas for
Yeah,
our
I know,
community.
me too. I'm out my downtime, I take my dog for a walk, but my brain doesn't stop. I'm always
Never
thinking of,
stops.
or I might think of like a member that when I get back, I'm like, oh my God, I was thinking of this when I was walking. This is what you should do, or here's who you should meet. Yeah, yeah, yeah. I'm the same way, but you need to take that downtime and spend the time with your pets. Why are you in the pet industry if you're not spending time with your pets, right? That's something
Exactly.
that I'm really passionate about. My dog may not think that all the time because sometimes he's staring at me like, when are we going out for another walk?
Oh, I love it. I love
Spoiled.
it. And is there anything else you may would like to tell people?
I don't think so. I think we covered a lot. I mean, we are opening our open enrollment, like you said, for new members. Our membership is open for anybody in the pet industry. So we are not, specific to one area of the industry. So, and we also have a lot of members that are new to like developing a product, figuring things out where they have joined. And we have annual membership or a monthly membership. So you can choose either or. We do a lot for our members. We're always making sure that we're staying on course, and I'm always asking for feedback, like probably annoying to my members. What do you want to learn? What's your feedback? Do you need help with this? All the things. So, but I don't think besides that, thank you so much for showing the website. Just love the pet industry. I love working with pet businesses, animal rescues, all the things. It's so much fun. It hasn't gotten old to me, and it's been quite a long time that I've been in this industry. So, but it's been a wild ride for sure.
I love it. And I really would encourage friends, if you are planning to open a business, pet business, or if you're currently running one, and even if you think that you have everything figured out, even as we like to say in the entrepreneurial world, and again, Pet Pigs community, it's not used to hear me this 6 figures, 7 figure, 8 figures. I'm a true believer that success for everyone is different. But as you and we talked, success is not only having money in your bank account. It's not only you gaining your freedom. It's not only you sleeping more hours. It's not only
Yeah.
you finding time for your loved one. There is so many description we can add under the umbrella success. And let's have the right people like you, my friend Nancy, and your organization to help us, achieve our dreams. And again, it's not only about us, but we need to think big, and we need to think about our community who need
Yeah.
us with our gifts. And we want to do them more longer, more often, because I know, and you know better statistic wise, there's so many pet businesses who start, and in the first 3 years, they're so burned out that they leave and they close down their company. And I'm personally looking forward to a lot of successful stories to highlight.
Yeah, I would say I thank you for that. I would say think about what your original mission statement was and how you will adapt and evolve that. But like our original mission statement of bringing pet professionals together, uniting us, helping everybody grow, is still the mission statement, and how that trickles down to help your community, the pets in your life, the rescues in your life. And just really think about what your mission statement is. And if you're getting burned out, maybe it's time to take some couple of days off and process. And sometimes something that you thought was going to work might not be what is actually going to make your business successful. And I think any entrepreneur can say that, right? They'll say, this is what I thought I was going to do. I started out doing, and that's not actually what ended up making you successful. Like you said, everything is all encompassing when it comes to that success. So it's really quite interesting.
It
And
is.
be open to evolving with your business, right? You have to be open to evolving and learning with your business, and not just be that, well, that's how it's done. No, that's, people expect more now, right? For their
They
pets.
do.
So
They
you have
do.
to be really open to that evolvement of your own business and yourself, and embrace it. I think it's a lot of fun. I love learning. I love learning from people that I meet. I love meeting new people like you and all the things that you're doing at Pet Picks Academy. It's so cool. I think it's very much needed, right? It's something that what you're doing. I was checking out all the things on your website. I was like, wow, this is awesome.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
Yeah.
And I would finish with this. I would say, friends, that the skies are unlimited. The
Yes.
things you can achieve are unlimited.
Yeah.
And you deserve it, but to achieve it sooner in a healthy way, again, mentally,
Yeah.
physically, spiritually, we have
Yeah.
people, and now incredible Nancy with your
Aw.
incredible and awesome community. And I mean it from the bottom of my heart, to help us in our journey, because a lot of times as entrepreneurs, we feel lonely. We feel
Yep.
that we are the only ones who are struggling to pay their taxes, who are not sleeping, their hands hurt, their back hurt, the spouse are saying why
Yeah.
you are working, or the family. And here we are to tell you that you are not, and to
Yeah.
welcome you in a beautiful and incredible community where you can grow and have friends who really can be your friends business wise and really help you grow together. So
Yeah.
thank you again, Nancy, for being with us today.
Thank you so much, Bessie, for having me. It's been so much fun to be on, and I can't wait to see all the cool things that you have coming for your business as well.
Thank you. And I would say I will see you soon, because we
Yes.
definitely would love to have you back. So thank you. Thank you so much. And
Thank
thank you.
you so much.
Thank you. It was a pleasure. And thank you, friends, for watching or listening. Again, I would encourage you, make sure you follow Nancy. All the links and everything else is below in the description if you're watching or listening this as a podcast. And don't forget, you can sign up and enroll in the membership as a yearly or monthly opportunity. And the date when the membership will be open is June 27, 2022. So just, jump on the ride with me, and let's continue growing and helping our friends and people. So thank you very much. See you soon. Thank you. Bye.